Hello everyone. Today we will look into the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network and the Eucharist Youth Movement. Today we have a special guest, and that is Father Jagdish Parmar. He is the National Director and the South Asian Coordinator of the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network and the Eucharistic Youth Movement. He is a Jesuit priest originally from Gujarat, but has opted for the Darjeeling province of India. Father Jagdish has gone all over the country visiting many bishops, prayer groups of the Pope in order to promote the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network. The Jesuits have 20 provinces in South Asia, and Father Jagdish has made it a point to appoint regional directors so that they also can promote the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network. So welcome to you, Father Jagdish. It's a great pleasure to have you over here. I would like to ask you a few questions. The first question is, in a nutshell, could you tell us what the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network is all about?
To put into a few words, Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network teaches us that we should pray every month for the intention of the Holy Father. That means Pope wants every Catholic family, every Catholic person to consciously know what his intention for that month is and pray every day, commit oneself every day to pray for it.
Okay, very good, Father. What about where it started, the origins of the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network?
Well, it all started in France, in a small town called Valls, where there was a Jesuit seminary, and the boys were preparing for priesthood to be Jesuit missionaries.
Okay.
And it was year 1844. That is the year we count as the founding of the Apostleship of Prayer, which was the original name of the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network. Now it happened like that at that time there was a flourishing mission of the French Jesuits in India, in South India, in Madurai. And the missionaries back home used to write the letters asking for new recruitment to be sent to India. Whenever these missionaries went home, they went to the seminary to recruit new missionaries and give inspiring talk. And these seminarians or scholastics were so taken up that they wanted to be ordained as fast as possible and come to India. As a result, they neglected their studies. Rather, they went to the library, looked for all the books on India, and started reading it. So the spiritual director, Father Francis Xavier Gautrele, he did not like this situation. So in 1844, 3rd of December, while celebrating the Mass of Francis Xavier, he put out a new proposal to them. He asked them, do you all want to go to India? Yes. To become a missionary like Francis Xavier? Yes. And even to suffer and die? Yes. Then he says, all this may come true in future, but why don't you become an apostle, a missionary, right here in this seminary? So they ask, how? You see, as soon as you get up in the morning, the first thing you do is to offer your whole day with all your prayers and works, joys and suffering to the Sacred Heart of Jesus for his intention. And from that moment onward, all what you do, whether your studies, whether your meals, your games, your recreation, your homework, everything becomes precious in the eyes of God. It is already a missionary activity. And the perception of the scholastic changed so much that there was a drastic change in their attitude. Not only that, they taught this thing to the lay people when they went on Saturday and Sunday to the surrounding villages to teach catechism. And even the people took it so wholeheartedly, accepted it, because here was a way, a new way, where without leaving their home and their work, they can still become the missionary. And so it spread like a wildfire in every diocese of France, and that went on to Spain, Germany, and Netherlands, Portugal. And when Pope Leo XIII in 1891 saw the good works being done by these groups, then he gave them, he first of all approved it as a papal work and started giving one intention for them to pray.
Pray. Okay.
Then in 1929, Pope Pius XI started giving second intention. So we had two intentions in the Catholic Church, the general and the missionary. Till 2016, when Pope Francis, again he brought it to one. So now we have only one intention every month of the Pope that you can see. Then he also changed the name of Apostleship of Prayer into Pope's WorldWide Prayer Network. Thirdly, the Superior General of the Jesuit used to be the head of this Apostleship of Prayer, and he is to appoint a delegate to act on his behalf. In 2016, the Pope said, "This is my prayer network, and I am the head." And he appointed another priest as an international director and asked him to appoint national director in each country with the approval of the Bishops' Conference. That is how my appointment came. When my name was proposed to Rome, it was accepted, came to Delhi in CBCI office to be approved, and then from 2017 onward, I have started working full time for this apostolate.
It's good, Father, to know that this started in France, in Valls, and how it grew. And it's also, as you're saying, it made them missionaries from wherever they are, an apostle of prayer from wherever they are. What about the Eucharistic youth movement? Where did it start?
Okay. EYM, Eucharistic Youth Movement, originally started as Eucharistic Crusade. There was already many requests from the parents of the children who were member of the Apostleship of Prayer. Why don't we include our children also? And as a result, one father, Henry Ramiere of Spain, recruited about 100,000, 1 lakh children into Apostleship of Prayer. But still there was a need to have a separate organization only for children suited to their age. Now in 1910, Pope Pius X, who knew the power of the Eucharist, he wanted a big army of the little ones to pray for his intention and also for the peace in the world. That's how in 1914, the International Congress of Eucharist in Lourdes resolved to fulfill the wishes of the Pope. And 1915, Father Albert Messiere, S.J., and Sister Genevieve Boselli started a Eucharistic crusade for the children aged 5 to 12.
Okay.
I was lucky enough to become the member of this Eucharistic crusade at the age of 7. And I still keep this cross, Eucharistic cross, when I became the member of the Eucharistic crusade. And we were supposed to wear it this side during the Mass on Sunday and Saturday meetings. This is a cherished treasure for me, because through which I have got my vocation to the priesthood and to the society. And at the same time, we were also given this certificate and the Heart of Jesus picture as a memento of our being member of the Eucharistic Crusade. What Pope wanted, the children should be apostle and missionary from that age onward. And so we were given this Soldier of God, a small magazine, pictorial magazine. At the beginning of the month, we were given 10 copies, and one we could keep, the other 9 we were supposed to sell to the children of other faith, so they also may come to know Jesus and follow his value. So this is what we grew up with, the spirituality of the Eucharistic. Now the name was changed by John the 23rd in 1960. because he was going to call an ecumenical council, Vatican II, and he wanted to include the Muslim also. Now the crusade word is almost against the Muslim.
Yes.
So it was avoided, and he said Eucharistic movement. And Pope Francis added one more word, Eucharistic youth movement, to signify that he wanted to invite all the people from age 5 up to 25 to be the member of the Eucharistic crusade and base their spirituality on the Eucharist and become real missionaries.
Good. Father, what about the spirituality? What about the spirituality behind EYM and PWPN?
There is a solid Ignatian spirituality because since it was started by the Jesuit, right from the beginning, the main idea is that we cannot be simply Christian in name or just practice our faith privately, but we need to go out of ourselves and share the gospel of Christ with everyone, but based on the spirituality of the Eucharist, because in the Eucharist, Jesus gives himself to all of us. And that is why we also wanted to emphasize, and St. Ignatius, who knew the power of the Eucharist very much. So from his spiritual exercises, we have taken 9 points. First one is God is love. Second one, the human heart are restless. The third one, the world is broken, a broken humanity. Fourth one, that God sends his Son to save this humanity. Fifth one, Jesus came and he invited and gathered apostles. The sixth one, not only he invited, but he dwells in each of us to do his work. Seventh one, that we also offer our lives along with him in the Eucharist to the Father. The eighth one, that we should do this mission as a mission of compassion like Jesus. And the last one, we all want to become member of the WorldWide Prayer Network to face the challenges of humanity and also of the church. So this is a solid spirituality that all can grow up, the children, the youth, and the parents. Why I'm telling you? Because today's parents have priority for tuition, music class, dance class, and whatnot, but not for the spiritual value or the catechism. So we are in a times of crisis, and I think the Eucharistic youth movement can very well respond to, in a very fitting way to the challenges of our time.
What about the recreation? I heard about the recreation of the PWPN. Can you tell us a little bit on this?
Oh yes. In 2010, the Superior General of the Jesuit, Father Adolfo Nicolas, he wanted, and he mandated the officials of the Apostleship of Prayer to renew itself, to recreate, so that it can be relevant to the people of our time. We live in a digital age with all the communication, media all around us, surrounding us. And unless and until we become relevant, we cannot really attract them. So as a result, we came out with a new statutes. They are called new statutes of the Eucharistic Youth Movement and the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network. These were approved by the Holy Father last year on the 27th of March. And also, at that time, we came up with 2 new apps. The first one is the Pope video. Every month, the Pope is videographed for a minute or 2. He speaks in Italian, but the subtitles are in 14 different languages. He explains why he has chosen that particular intention and how we can pray practically about it. And you can find it in the YouTube. You just write the Pope video, it will pop up there. Or you can write www.thepopevideo.org and you will have it. The second one is called Click to Pray. Now, the Click to Pray is another app which you can download on your mobile free of charge, And once you have it, you register it, then there you have the daily offering, the Pope's intention for that month. There are 3 special prayer of the day, and also a prayer wall where you can write your own intention. And at the end of the day, you can see how many thousand people were praying for you. Incidentally, I want to tell you that Pope Francis himself became the member of this app on the 20th of January, the World Day of Communication, at the Vatican, where he was appearing to thousands of people, pilgrims in the Vatican Square. He clicked the button on click to pray and said, today I have become the member. Please become the member of this app and pray with me for my intention. The same thing, he went to Panama, World Youth Day, and he exhorted to do the same to the youth also. So these are 2 apps that we can really rightly use for the spread of the intention of the Holy Father in today's world.
Father, also you were saying that earlier the Superior General was in charge of this Apostleship of Prayer, or now PWPN, but now it has also become a pontifical work, right? How was it?
Yeah. Actually, there are 4 pontifical organizations in India exist, and now this is the 5th one. Because last year on 27th of March, Pope, while approving the new statutes, he also made this organization a pontifical one and gave the office in the state of Vatican. So now it has become one of the department of the Vatican.
Good, very good. And you were speaking about click to pray, the Pope video. How would you like that today's Christians, Catholics, be part of the Pope's worldwide network? How is it that we have to be a member, or what's the procedure? Can you tell us a little more?
The simplest condition to become the member of the PWPN, Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network, is just this one, a leaflet that comes from Dindigul, from our regional office, called Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network, Apostleship of Prayer leaflet. And there you have the morning offering and the Pope's intention for that month, and also the Ordo, monthly Ordo for the Latin Church. So anyone who desires and commits oneself to pray every day, once daily offering with the intention of the Holy Father, and followed by one Our Father, Hail Mary, and Glory be to the Father, is already a member.
Okay.
Suppose somebody wants to go a little deeper, then every first Friday, that person should go to the Eucharist. And in the Eucharist, he or she can do the same thing. Pope's intention can be recited with daily offering. Also, the people who are really, the families who want to devote, they also can consecrate their families to the heart of Jesus in their own home. So these are the small little practices by which one can go deeper into the being the member of the Apostleship of Prayer.
Father, you have been in Buenos Aires, Argentina. You have been also for the meeting in Rome, and here as a National Director and South Asian Coordinator of PWPN and EYM. How do you go about visiting the bishops, the different dioceses? What is their reflection over the PWPN, and how strong is it in India?
Well, out of the 140 bishops that I have met, say about half bishops said that it is present in their diocese. Wherever the Jesuits were working, this organization already had taken root. Where the Jesuits were not working, this is unknown. And that is why we need to introduce this work to those dioceses where it was not. Secondly, many seminarians have started to go now. I have visited 21 major seminaries and 10 minor seminaries, realizing that it is from these people who will be going out as priests tomorrow in various parishes, schools, social work, wherever they are going to go and work, if they know about this work quality, then they will be the carrier of this movement in their own parishes and schools. Also the lay people, now this is the age of laity, and I am addressing to you lay people, this is the age of laity, and you have to take up the challenge of being faithful to the Catholic Church, not only that, but to be a disseminator, to spread the message of Christ in today's multifaceted, multi-religious, multicultural reality, to become a leaven in our humanity. And that is why these organizations that through your children also, who will become the member of the EYM, and you yourself, by becoming the member of the PWPN, can really transform the society around you. First of all, by being a good Catholic, being a witness, and then being more human, because every intention of the Holy Father is nothing else but the challenges faced by the humanity. And we pray for the humanity.
Regarding the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network, could you tell us in what way, for example, the office was in Dindigul first, the press office. We heard about also Father Vanish, who kind of founded it in India, and it spread very, as you were saying, very fast. Could you tell us now that you are a Jesuit being in Darjeeling, how do you look at it, especially from the different dioceses? There are more dioceses in the south, more people we can go to in the south. What do you feel about the Indian response to the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network?
Well, I would see that in the practically north, there are dioceses are there, around little more than 100, where the Jesuit worked in Jharkhand, in Chhattisgarh, and Bengal, and some parts of Bihar. It is working very well, and so we don't have to worry much about it. And this kind of leaflet also is translated into Nepali and Hindi also. In the same way that magazine also is translated into Gujarati and Hindi. But it is here in South India, barring, say, Tamil Nadu, other places it is not existing, not very much alive. And that is why I was also thinking that out of 174 dioceses, we have 94 dioceses in South India. And I was just playing with an idea whether we can have a kind of office here, so that from here we can do much more to make people aware about the intention of Holy Father and about the need to bring the children, to bring them up into the spirituality of the Eucharistic youth movement. So that is my dream and my desire, and I hope the Lord will fulfill it.
Yes. Regarding Click to Pray and the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network, there's a Pope's intention that comes every month. How do you like it to disseminate among the faithful? Because whenever we download the app, which is free, as you are saying, and the Pope video, which is given to everyone, which is passed on to everyone, what would you say we should do when we download the app or the Pope video?
But the simplest thing is to share. You have your friends, and you have many other people who are in touch with you in the virtual world, so to say, on the WhatsApp and Twitter, Facebook and whatnot, Use every platform that you are using now, and use them for God's greater glory, to disseminate the news about Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network and Eucharistic Youth Movement. And it will go like a wild. See, nowadays so many useless things are being spread on WhatsApp and Facebook and all. Why don't we do something good? Why don't we spread all these good things that are coming? And the more people will come to know about Pope and his intention, the more people will Now, right now at this moment, there are 38 million people praying for the intention of the Holy Father, which is a very small number. It could be much more, you know. And using this social media, we can increase that number very quite sizably. In the same way, only 1.8 million youth are aware of the Pope's intention and Eucharistic youth movement. And youth are the people who use mostly the WhatsApp and Twitter and all
Yes.
those things. If they start using all these things and spread out and give to their own friends and people, then it will also, among the youth also, it will make a really effective instrument. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Father Jagdish, for making time for us. He has come all the way from Darjeeling to present to us what the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network and the Eucharistic Youth Movement is. We wish you all the best. We shall pray for you in your ministry that the Lord will enrich and make your efforts successful. So thank you everyone for listening to us. Come, let us pray with the Pope. Download the app Click to Pray, which the Pope also is part of, and watch the video which comes to you every month on the Pope's intention so that you can pray over it. Thank you very much and all the best.